Hi cool cats, I'm JazzChicken and welcome to another fascinating deep dive. As always, the star of today's show is Lincoln, my best friend's son, who is the reason I started making these videos to begin with. He loves trains. He gets stressed out when the magnets on his trains repel each other away instead of connecting. So of course, we're going to do a deep dive into a game that has absolutely nothing to do with trains. And that game, by Kogado Studio, is Miracle Warriors: Seal of the Dark Lord.
さあ行け覇者の封印は今解かれる
セガの本格的ロールプレイングゲームワクワク機能搭載 FM 音源対応ソフトセガ覇者の封印ゲームリーダー
Released July 26, 1986, originally on something I've never even heard of, the PC-88, then ported over to other systems I've never heard of, such as the MSX, the FM7, the Sharp X1, and then on two systems I have heard of, which is the Famicom and of course the Sega Master System, reaching the UK in November 1988. When the game released in the UK, it was sold for £32.95p. Nowadays, in 2025, the game can be sold anywhere between £4.36 to £147.86p. The gameplay style is what's known as a role-playing game, or RPG for short, and sees the player take control of a small box in the corner of the screen. The main focus of the screen is mostly empty space, with a still image of a blue knight, which is you, and a random fairy that is never mentioned, never speaks, and has no purpose for its existence whatsoever. This screen is used as your battle screen, or any other main points of interest, but most of the time, it's literally just dead space. You start the game on top of a kingdom where your first challenge awaits, figuring out what button to press to enter the castle. Once the mystery has been solved, the incredibly tiny king tells you, "Fate calls thee to bar evil's entry. Thou must seek the seal of the Dark Lord. The seal is guarded in Gorkit's shrine," wherever the heck that is. "Quickly, find the ancient sage Kosama." I'm not gonna tell you where he is though. You'll have to just figure it out. And that's it. So you set off with not really anything to go on, or reasons why you're doing this task, single-handedly, by yourself, and hopefully in the right direction, to meet some guy named Kosama, who will tell you that you need to recruit 3 specific people somewhere on the world, so you can stop the evil lord, or something. And that's it, that's basically the story. Whee! I'm joking, of course, there is a bit more context. We just have to find it within the game's manual. So, on one of the first pages of the manual, you'll see here, Miracle Warriors: Seal of the Dark Lord. If thou be strong and noble, a mighty quest awaits thee. After a millennium of peace, the Dark Lord Terraren has freed herself and stolen the golden seal, opening Pandora's passage to the evil dimension. Now, hordes of fearsome monsters roam the land. Come, follow in the footsteps of the mighty Iason and defeat the Dark Lord. Only you, the Miracle Warrior, can return the seal to its rightful place. And then there's a little bit more. The legend of Iason. Long ago, in a land of swords and sorcery, a stumbling shepherd lad named Iason unknowingly opened the Pandora passage. Through this gateway, all manner of evil creatures were let loose upon the 5 lands under the claws of the Dark Lord Terraren. Interesting that they just happened to have this passage lying around that left to just, an invasion of demons and monsters. All it took was just one guy to open the door. It was gonna happen eventually. As Iason grew into a man, he watched Terraren's nightmare army devastate the 5 lands. Since it was he who had unleashed this evil, he took a vow to defeat Terraren and restore peace to this world. Iason trained with the white monks, learning the ways of the King's Sword and the magical dangers of Terraren's evil horde. To help him on his quest, the monks gave him magical arms and armor. After a long and valiant battle, Iason defeated Terrarion and drove her into another dimension. Then, his armor glowing gold, Iason resealed the Pandora Passage. The people of the Five Lands made him a legend before he went back to the life of a shepherd. Iason made a prophecy that one day Terrarion would return and that 4 brave warriors would awake to meet her evil challenge. I mean, they could maybe destroy the passage. That's an idea. So it never opens again, you know. Art thou the miracle warrior? There was a time not long ago when Terrarion escaped from her entrapment and with a howl of rage that shook the world once again unleashed her terror upon the land. You watched the Five Lands suffer under her ruthless campaign of evil as you wandered from country to country. Then one fine cloudless day your wanderings led you to a castle where you learned of your true destiny. The blood of Iason flowed in your veins, but were you the one fated to bring an end to Terrarion's evil? Only time would tell as you learned the ways of magic and sword. And here is your ways of magic and sword, is that this is button 1, this is button 2, and this is a D-pad. And that's about it. That's the story. So in terms of gameplay, there's not a lot to it, really. It's mainly one big giant grinding session. And what I mean by that is you fight monster after monster after monster after monster after merchant. No, he's a monster. After monster after monster after monster after monster until finally you have enough money to buy some better equipment. So then you can fight monster after 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 monster until finally you've leveled up enough to move on to a new area. And in this new area, you can fight monster after monster after monster after monster after monster after monster after monster. A friendly man! He gave me some kind of hint. Let's kill him anyway and fight monster after monster after monster. Oh, I died. Well, now we must start the game all over again. Unless, of course, you saved it. For the first few times, I didn't know how to save the game, so every time I died, I had to start the game again. Wasn't that wonderful? But then I learned you could save the game.
Did you know?
This game was the first ever Japanese RPG game to be shipped to America. In Japan, it was the second RPG to be released. Dragon Quest was the first. However, Dragon Quest was not shipped abroad until much later in 1989 under the title Dragon Warrior. The Western designs of the front cover showed the Dark Lord being an armored devil woman ready to attack the not-so-well-clothed heroes. But the original Japanese design took a more risque approach, with a fully nude, spicy demon lady straddling a tree branch with her mahanajamas on full display and her booty presenting up in the air and legs for days. Well, that explains why the final fight she's butt naked then. I remember thinking, wasn't she fully clothed on the front cover? Why is she naked? This game has a big retro fan base, which shows how well received it was back in the day, but nowadays it's more of an acquired taste. This was my first time playing it, so you could say other games have tainted my expectations, but for me, I didn't like the game. I've seen and played better RPGs created around the same time, Fantasy Star was being one of them. And for me, this game fell pretty flat for me. Not enough substance and focused too hard on battling enemies. There is a huge variety of enemies. Majority of them are the same and not really unique in their own way. They just hit harder or they take longer to beat, but otherwise it's just a new skin, like a different wrapper. I did enjoy fighting the sea serpents. The vast difference in presentation took me by surprise and was very welcomed. Lightning bolts across a stormy sky, a big mean looking enemy, powerful attacks, stormy seas, beautiful. To give you an idea of the variety of enemies, here is a lineup of each encounter in the style of the Pokemon rap. Okay guys, we gotta rap some Miracle Warriors.
You just do the singing, I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on! I need to level up to make any progress. Murder everything, yeah, I'm obsessed.
Chatagua,
Girlfist,
Eartack,
Desert Worm,
Ganatao,
Zerod,
Bokrag,
Seaseg,
Yorickson,
Barbila,
Black Monk,
Basilisk,
Cavern, Mantis,
Furious,
Skeleton.
Grinding, never ever stop. Miracle, I'll search across the land. No real goal in mind. Finally, I have enough to buy some clothes.
Sekisag,
Agama,
Evil Merchant,
Ogek,
Inutas,
Desert Mammoth,
Ladawa,
Mordau,
Weaslywimp,
Rockek,
Hydra,
Orin,
Gijim,
Kyosen. Grinding, never ever stop. Gotta level up. Miracle Warriors.
Roxy, Heesh, Hard-Shelled Beat, No Gouda, Beastie, Crawler, Gamera, Seahawk, Sea Serpent, Vogue, Great Lion, Life, and did you know he dropped Sacred Nut?
Grinding, never ever stop. Yeah, gotta level up. Miracle Warriors. Only 25 left to see. To be a Miracle Warrior is my destiny. Or rather my current goal at this moment in time. Until I beat the game, that is. Then I probably won't play it ever again. Yeah!
Zogamora,
Desert Wanderer,
Ruogek, Gibi, Baroon, Guro, Sea Dragon, Yojuho,
Esgara,
Nag,
Kinsai,
Heap, Snatcher, Senpai.
Grinding, never ever stop. Yeah! Grinding, never ever stop. Yeah!
Dagon, Ohod,
Gazela,
Giant Lobster, Swar,
Abzal,
Jaral,
Rohe,
Rockhod,
Unmutak,
Thief,
Azitor,
Smag,
Mesmer,
Cockin,
Terrarin.
I put my cock in Terrarin.
We're almost there. We're doing great so far.
What's all this we stuff? I'm doing all the hard work.
Break time's over, here we go! Hanj. Yeah, it's quite the list, huh? I also found a few other creature designs that were cut from the main game. Creatures such as Gygelg, Gykots, Greenie, Hadja, and Jaddy. And there was one creature that I deliberately missed off of the cringy Miracle Warriors rap that I did, and that one was Giant Snail. Because its original design was this strange snake thing with sharp teeth and wings. And clearly, like, someone just went, "What the heck is that? That is not a snail. That's more like a snake with wings. Get back to the drawing board. Do it again or you're fired." And so they went away, and then the artist did this. It's just some weird shell doing that ahigawa face, whatever it's called. You know that trend where women are just like taking pictures of themselves with their tongue sticking out and eyes crossed. It's very, that weird trend that went around. For some reason they're doing it here. They were doing it before it even became a trend, and like, I don't get it. It's a creature that's just gagging for it. I mean, look at it. It's not even a snail. It's just a shell with its mouth open and tongue sticking out, and it's just a super horny shell. It's not a snail at all. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. One thing I did look into with all these creature names is seeing what Google Translate would give us if I put them under Japanese and translated to English. And there was only one creature that actually gave me a different translation. All the rest, it just said the same name. And that creature was Kyozen. As it translates in English, it means huge ship. So you're fighting a giant boat. That's a weird looking boat right there, I can tell you that. Anyway, that's all we have time for. But stay tuned as there is loads more to come. Whilst my full playthrough of the game runs in the background, myself and Big Timmy will read you some AI-generated erotic fanfiction. It's weird, it's tasteful, and above all, it's hilarious, so show your support by liking the video, subscribe to catch new content sooner rather than later, and I'll catch you cool cats later. Bye bye.